Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back to another episode of the Practical Training Podcast with yours truly at Real Mike Bell, representing practical training professionals, the leading firearms instruction company in the Mid-Atlantic, hosted right here out of Southern Maryland, the great, some people refer to this as God's country. Guys, we breached this subject last week. We talked about what the show was going to be about. One of those things was this kind of burgeoning gun control, looming gun control across the country. And let's get ahead of something real quick, all right? So last week, I got notice of something that was going on out in San Jose, California. Maybe you guys have heard about this. Maybe you haven't. But what I want to call to your attention right now is, well, first, let me clear this up. If you're audio only, okay, if you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes or Google Podcasts or something like that, I'm encouraging you guys to, first of all, give a 5-star review there, right? Drop down, give us a good review. But head over to the YouTube, all right? Head over to the YouTube, PTPGun.com, Firearms Training. You can just type in PTP Firearms Training in the search bar, you'll get there. The reason I'm telling you that is because a lot of this show is going to be, there's going to be additional content that's featured in the episode, videos and stuff like that. All right. And I want you guys to be able to see those in context. Okay. So head over there. You'll be able to see it. The show is featured for video, also audio. All right. With that, let's go ahead and break. All right. So this stuff came up out of the mayor of San Jose proposed these new gun control measures that literally are laughable. And I want to go ahead and pull those up on the screen here, right? So this is the mayor's proposal. The mayor, and not only that, not only did the mayor propose this stuff, but it made it through city council. They approved this, okay? What they're trying to do to the law-abiding citizen, what they're trying to do to those of us, myself, you, the rest of the PTP community out there, right? The Second Amendment community in the United States, what they're trying to do is they're going to require every owner, all right, every lawful gun owner in San Jose to have gun liability insurance. Now, let me tell you something. Actually, you know what? Hold that thought, all right, guys? I'm going to go through the other couple of things here that they want to do, and then we'll kind of break them down piecemeal style, all right? So they want to require every owner, lawful owner of a gun, okay, to have liability insurance. They're also going to add on another fee to own a gun, and they're going to, this is the one that's a sticky piece for me, guys. All of them are sticky, but this one's really sticky, all right? They're going to require sellers, any firearms dealer, FFL guy out there, right? They're going to require those sellers to video record every single gun sale. That's just crazy, guys, all right? I can't even begin to help it. All right. So San Jose will require the gun owners to compensate. This is the message. All right. There's a lot of gun violence. There's a lot of gun violence happening in the San Jose community. Now, if you're not familiar with California, San Jose is in the South Bay. It's right there around the San Francisco Bay area. Okay. Now, San Jose will require gun owners to compensate taxpayers. So here's the thing. A bad guy with the gun goes out and does bad stuff. Criminals doing criminal activity. The city of San Jose is tired of the taxpayers paying for the damages done by those crimes from those criminals. So what are they going to do? Instead of punishing the criminal, they're going to punish the taxpayer. That blows my mind. They're going to require gun owners to compensate taxpayers for gun-related emergency response. Now, this is crazy. This is the first U.S. city to take such a step, all right? But let me tell you something. What happens over there, and of course we'll get into this is going to be challenged, but if this takes hold, you'll see this happen in San Francisco and Oakland and all these other areas. And that is a massive metropolitan area with millions of people, hundreds of thousands of lawful gun owners that this is going to affect. Okay? Now, the big picture here, and I'm quoting some of this from, there's an article in the San Francisco Chronicle, all right? And there'll be links to that down in the show notes for the audio only guys. The rest of you guys, you'll just have to copy and paste it from YouTube because we're not monetized yet. And you can't put links down there, right? Clickable links. Anyhow, the ordinance is why this matters, all right? So, yeah, it's going to be the first city in California, first city in the country, really, is going to do that. And it's going to require every firearm owner to buy liability insurance coverage and pay an annual fee for medical and police responses to gun-related injuries and deaths, okay? Now, they haven't decided how much gun owners would be required to pay annually, but the amount will be determined following a gun harm study from the Pacific Institute on Research and Evaluation, which is expected to be completed this fall, all right? Now, here's a number for you guys, all right? In a preliminary report, the Institute estimated that gun-related homicides, suicides, and other shootings cost San Jose about $63 million per year, all right? Now, the ordinance is expected. Of course it's expected. How could you even put something up like this without expecting it to face some kind of legal challenge? PTP guys, all right? Pay attention. What happens in California, right, with Feinstein and Pelosi, right? They're gonna be pushing similar stuff. If this passes, if the Supreme Court doesn't pull this back, if this passes, expect this to become national news. It's going to be crazy, guys. And I'm thinking it's going to get shut down. All right. I'm thinking it's going to get shut down. Likely it's going to get shut down. But what the mayor says here, and this is what's funny. All right. The mayor says, we won't, and this is quoting Mayor Sam Liccardo. All right. What he said is, we won't magically end gun violence, but we will stop paying for it. So who's going to be paying for it? If we is inclusive, if we are all of the law-abiding citizens of San Jose, California, then what do you mean we will stop paying for it? Oh, that's right. So what you're saying is that there's us and them. There's us, crooked politicians, far left-leaning Democrats, and then there's them, responsible gun owners. Now, that is just division on a micro scale, all right, guys? And you got to pay attention to the language, right? You got to watch that stuff. But he also says, he goes on to say, we could also better care for San Jose's victims and reduce gun-related injuries and deaths through sensible interventions. How is that? Oh, I know. You're going to further infringe upon our God-given, our birthright to keep and bear arms. You're going to infringe upon that. You are going to make it harder and harder and harder for law-abiding citizens to keep and bear arms, right? You're looking at it like this, all right, guys? I mean, you're looking at, so you already got AB 1223, right? That's a California thingy. It's a law, right? It's a 10% tax on all firearms. So let's start with the model of a $500 firearm. Okay, that's average, right? You add on AB 1223, you're going to see an extra 10%. So now you're up to $550. Then you add on a $50 excise tax. All right, you're up to $600. Then there's this new fee that they're talking about, and they don't, there's who knows what that's going to be. And then there's another fee in California. It's a $35 fee. So right now we're at $635 plus the new fee. Let's assume that that's going to be $50. So now you're up to almost $700 for a $500 firearm, plus the liability insurance that you're going to have to cover. And I'm going to tell you something. Liability providers like your car insurance provider, your home insurance provider, they're not going to want to insure gun owners. It's going to cost money, lots of money. Let's just throw an assumption out there, $100 a month, okay? Let's just baseline there, All right. And it could go, what, $50 to $100, maybe even $150, depending, right? And how are they going to prorate that, right? There's no like safe driver discount for firearms, is there? Like, oh, okay, we're going to give you a safe owner discount because you didn't commit a crime with your firearm this year. Ha. It's ridiculous. So let's just call it $100. All right. So now you got your $500 firearm, your $50 excise tax, your $35 new fee, your 10% AB 1223 tax on all firearms, the new liability, the new fee that's putting you up near $700. Now you're looking at the liability insurance, which is monthly, right? So this is a recurring cost. You're at damn near $800 to buy a $500 firearm. That is just crazy, guys. Not everyday people can afford this. So again, they're heckening back to a time when you had to be wealthy or a landowner or of a certain complexion to own a firearm. Who do you think this hurts? You think this hurts the wealthy? Do you think this hurts people with money to blow? No. It's not going to hurt them. They're going to pay the damn fee. They're going to pay the fee. They're going to get their liability insurance. Who this hurts is the everyday American that's working his ass off, put food on the table for his family, and wants to defend himself and his loved ones according to his birthright to keep and bear arms. That's who this is going to hurt. All right, guys? I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I can't even get over it. I want to play this video for you guys here, all right? So stand by.
Groundbreaking development for gun reform in the Bay Area. Here's the deal. The country is watching this closely. San Jose is taking matters into its own hands. The city council unanimously passing a controversial gun reform proposal. Stores have to video record all firearm purchases. Think of that. They have to videotape now all the purchases they make with these guns. It comes at a vulnerable time for the city of San Jose. It's been, what, 3 weeks now since the VTA shooting? 9 people shot dead by their coworker. This new law, though, was passed just last night. It also aims to end an illegal practice known as straw purchasing. That's when someone buys a gun for another person. This could be someone who's
hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. I want to come back here. All right. Straw purchases. All right. First of all, there's already things preventing that from happening. If you have bought a firearm before, you have filled out the ATF form 4473. All right. They're already illegal. Straw purchases are already illegal. The ghost gun thing, all that stuff, it's already illegal. So what is this going to do, right? And what I'm talking about specifically here is the videotaping or audio taping of every firearm sale, right? It's going to prevent straw purchase. All right, back it up. Straw purchase is this, okay? What a straw purchase is when somebody goes and buys a firearm with the intention to give it to somebody else, all right? And it's already illegal. I mean, what are we doing? We're making redundant laws. We're doing all this other stuff. You're trying to sell it is what they're trying to do. They're trying to give the dumbed down general population of the Bay Area an idea like, oh, passing this law that we're going to sneak in this liability insurance, passing this law is going to prevent, people buying guns and then giving them to other people to use for crimes, right? It's just simply crazy, guys. It's simply crazy. I'm going to jump back to the video here and finish this out for you guys.
Barred from owning guns. San Jose is the first major U.S. city to pass this law requiring videotaping of gun sales. Let's be clear here. We know where this is going, right to the courts.
You're damn right.
Advocates will be challenging this new law and all of the new proposals. We're going to show you those other proposals in a minute.
All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Let's jump back over here, guys. So here's let me pull it back up on the screen here for you guys. All right. Mayor's proposal: require every owner to have gun liability insurance, charges a fee to own a gun, and requires sellers to video record every single gun sale. All right. I want to do something. I want to hypothesize a little bit here. Okay, guys. The Second Amendment, which was ratified after, first of all, let me tell you guys this. Happy Independence Day, brothers and sisters. It took a lot of guts. It took a lot of gumption for our founding fathers to fight against the crown. All right. That's a big move. It should be celebrated. And then following on all of that, you know, the people who died and fought and died and for that Constitution, and then to later ratify the Second Amendment into our Constitution. All right. There's other rights that we have that are guaranteed by the Constitution. And I want to do a thought process with you guys for a minute here. Okay, guys, let me go in and just go, bam, big stuff here. All right. What other laws, what other rights do we have that you could look at and say, whoa, this is a slippery slope? What about our right to assemble? What about our right to free speech? What about our right to religion, open religion, our choice of religion? Now, this is going to sound controversial, but I'm going to paint you guys a picture here, okay? Our Second Amendment right is guaranteed. Now, what San Jose wants to do is they want to start charging a fee and making you carry insurance to exercise that right. So let's look at another right, the right to religion. All right? San Jose wants to punish law-abiding, tax-paying Americans for the very, very small percentage of bad apples. And in doing so, they want law-abiding, tax-paying Americans to carry insurance. Again, this is going to sound controversial, but what about our right to religion and Muslims? Do you think that every hopefully this doesn't get us pulled down, but do you think that every Muslim should carry? You know what? Let's just open it up. Do you think that every Muslim or Christian or any other faith should have to carry liability insurance because of the few bad apples that go out and do, I don't know, mass shootings, or for God's sakes, run freaking airplanes into, structures? No, of course not. That's stupid. And anybody who thinks that this is going to make it through and it's not going to be challenged is also stupid. Like, how dumb do you have to be, guys? And I can't even get my mind around it. All right. There's going to be bad apples, right? There will always be bad apples. And it truly is absurd. All right. What's even more absurd is, let's look at the money grab. All right. Another interesting fact here for you guys is this: 80,000 guns are being sold, or for that matter, bought each month in California. So you add on a, I don't know, $50 fee to buy that gun, besides all the other fees we already talked about, right? Now you're looking at, what is that? $4 million a month that's going to be netted by the California government. Nah, that's crazy, man. It is crazy. It sounds a lot like, it sounds like sounds like video registration is what it sounds like. That's what they're trying to do here with this whole straw man, anti, straw buying, all that stuff. It's just crazy, man. It's just another way to have video proof of somebody buying a firearm and then adding that into some kind of database. It really is freaking crazy. This is, I don't even know. I don't know how long this is going to go, guys, but we're going to be keeping an eye on it. And let me ask you guys something. I want you to drop down, if you're watching this on YouTube or over on PTPGun.com, drop down in the comments and let me know. What do you think about this? What would you do if your local mayor tried to force you to carry liability insurance to exercise your right, or tried to force you to pay even more fees and fines to exercise your right? I'm telling you guys, this is just crazy. They're also saying that this is supposed to help aid in gun violence restraining orders, the GVROs. We'll do another episode about that pretty soon. But that's another big thing. So they think that this is going to aid in the GVROs and the intelligence programs that help identify illegal guns in the hands of criminals. Well, there was already, how the hell is this going to do that? right? How the hell? Well, first of all, you got the ATF form 4473, right? That is already screening to ensure that the person that's actually buying the firearm doesn't have any kind of gun violence restraining order against them or anything else like that, right? You have to wait your days before you could buy something like that, right? So that already exists. And if you filled out that form, there's 12, 13, 14 boxes or something there you got to check. It's a lot of stuff, right? But what this is doing, again, at the end of the day, this is making it more cost prohibitive for the average American to exercise their right. All right. There was another, I mean, this is controversial here too, guys, but I want to bring this up because I want you guys to hear this. All right. If you want, they passed something. In fact, there was some Supreme Court rulings on this. Stop and frisk, okay? If you see gang members, if you see gang activity happening, if you are within your warranted rights as a law enforcement officer to witness somebody, detain them for a short amount of time, and stop and frisk them to see if they have firearms on them, that's going to be your fastest way to get illegal firearms off the street. The problem with that, guys, and I got to just kind of go to bat for this one here, that's kind of a violation of our Fourth Amendment law, right? The Fourth Amendment requires that before stopping a suspect, the police must have a reasonable suspicion that a crime is being or is about to be committed by the suspect. And as I support the Second Amendment and any infringement upon that, I'm going to fight against. I'm also kind of fight against all infringements of all of our rights. And the Fourth Amendment is one of those. If I'm average Joe Schmo walking down the street up to my own business and a cop decides to stop me and then frisk me and then find my firearm on me, sure, I carry a legal firearm. But now you've just unlawfully detained me against my will. You have violated my Fourth Amendment. All right. And, you know, the mayor already knows that this is all unconstitutional. And when asked what he was going to, how he was going to defend it, like he just straight up copped to it. He's like, yeah, this is what we have to do. We've done our research and this and that. And I don't think it's gonna last, guys. I really don't. And I did a little bit more digging into this, and I wanted to figure out what other people were saying about it. And so I jumped down into some of the comments on some of the other areas where they were covering this, and people were saying stuff like, you know, this is adding monetary burdens does nothing beyond prevent people experiencing poverty from exercising their constitutional rights. And that's right. And this isn't a political podcast, but you could track it. You could see who does what to their constituents and how they try to keep people down. And this is just another way for them to prevent people currently experiencing poverty from exercising their constitutional right. It also sounds like they're holding those that did not create any harm, that haven't done anything wrong. They're holding them responsible for the people that do. And then lastly here, I want to ask, again, this sounds a lot. Well, if you're trying to charge a fee for exercising a right, the only other thing really that you could look at is like a poll tax, right? You have to pay a fee to exercise your right. And this is just crazy. This is just, again, this is Democrats preventing the less fortunate, the less wealthy, the less able from exercising their rights. It's unconstitutional. It's not going to survive judicial review. Hell no, it's not. And, it's ridiculous. So a lot of passion there, guys. And when I first heard this story, I was blown away. You know, I'm not big on big government. I'm not big on government getting their hands in your and my rights to exercise, to do what we need to do, right? To defend ourselves, defend our loved ones from potential bad guys. And, you know, there's Supreme Court and Heller and everything else, you know, they've ruled about what the Second Amendment really says. And what it says, guys, is that the right of the people, you know, shall not be infringed. And this is an infringement. I'm going to keep an eye on this. We will do follow-ups. Again, I want you guys to drop down the comments and let us know over here at PTP Gun what you think about this. Do you think this is going to stand up? Do you think it's going to get shot down? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think, yeah, of course you don't. Who the hell would, right? I'm sure there's somebody listening right now that says, man, that's a really good idea. No, no, it's not. And if you think it's a good idea, please explain to me how you think this is going to stop bad guys with guns from doing bad things to good people. Because I can't figure it out. And I've tried. All right. This makes no sense to me. But drop down in the comments and let us know what you guys think. If you're audio only, okay, head over to the YouTube, head over to PTPGun.com, and leave some comments there. This, of course, you guys already know this. This will be attached to a blog post over there on PTPGun.com, so you can figure out. You can follow the links, you can read my notes, you can do all that other stuff, and you can get yourself smarter. If you're audio only, head over to PTPGun at PTPGun.com on Facebook and drop down, just create a post there. Let us know. Send us a message. Send me a message, Mike at PTPGun.com. Too easy, right? Let me know what you think, guys. For you podcast guys and for you guys subscribing here on YouTube and over on the blog, I want to start something new. And still, we got to get into Mike's favorite of the week here, and it's going to be pretty simple this week. But I want to start something new. I want to start doing a mailbag. All right. I'd like to get you guys and through commenting or through sending an email to Mike at PTPGun.com. I want to collect your comments. I want to collect some things that you think we could do better around here, and I'm going to air them on the show. Of course, it'll be anonymous or whatever if you choose it to be. Just ways that we can improve what we're doing. All right. Now, with all that being said, get a hold of us. Let us know what you think. But I want to get over to Mike's favorite of the week. Mike's favorite of the week this week is a person. Give me a second here. I want to pull up his. What the hell is that? I want to pull up his site here, but it's called Monarch Defense. Now, Monarch Defense is located out in California. They are putting up a big fight against what's currently happening here in this this debate, right? This thing that's going on over there with these unlawful restrictions to exercise our right. I want to go and pull it up over here, okay? Monarch Defense, all right? This guy's name is Brian Wang. I tried getting him on the podcast today, but he couldn't make it. He's obligated to some other stuff, but he does a lot of really cool stuff. Now, Brian Wang is super certified. He does all kinds of really cool stuff. Night operations, dynamic drills, introduction to fighting rifle, all this other stuff. He doesn't really do your basic pistol, basic rifle type stuff that we do over at PTPGun.com is one of the things that we do at PTPGun.com. He does a lot of other stuff. He's mega. I want to pull up his profile here and let you guys see what he does. Let me go ahead and just try to find this right quick. All right. Beep, bop, boop. I know he's, here we go. Carries teaching certificates through a number of prestigious organizations, most notably, right, you guys are seeing this on the screen here. He is a Mossad Ayub group. Now, Mossad Ayub, we're going to try to get on the show. He's a content guy. He's a very prolific trainer. I want you guys to find him. But Brian is, he's certified instructor with the Mossad Ayub group, MAG is what they call themselves. He's with specialties in stress fire, handgun, and shooting techniques and the use of deadly force. To round out the knowledge he makes available to students, Brian is also certified by Surefire Institute to teach low light and flashlight weapons handling, by Suarez International, the ultimate training munitions to teach force-on-force gunfighting, and by the NRA for basic pistol and refuse to be a victim, and by the Triple Arc Training Group to teach the use of chemical agents for self-defense. He is also a member of, and this is why this is important, right? He's a member of the Bay.Profs. It's a nonprofit firearm education instructor group local to the Bay Area. All right. Now he's doing his bit. He's doing his bit to fight against all of the shenanigans. Well, what the hell's going on here with my stuffy? All right. It's not kicking back. All right. Regardless, Brian's doing his stuff to fight against the shenanigans that are currently happening over there, on the West Coast, and hopefully he can do what he does and he could fight back and he could get us going. He could stand up, he could organize, he could bring people together, he can go to those town hall meetings, he could fight against America, he can get these stupid ass policies that they're trying to push out. He could get them off the books. All right, guys. So that's Mike's favorite of the week. Monarch Defense out in California, Brian Wang instructor. You can find him on YouTube at Brian Wang. And with that, guys, we're going to call it here. Let me go ahead and what do I got to do here to end this damn thing? It's getting all crazy. Here we go. Let me hit the outro. Bow. Yep. With that, guys, come back next week. Same monkey time, same monkey place. Get it figured out. We out.